Welcome to By His Grace podcast. Not worthy, but worth it. I am Tanshell Ward, and I would like to welcome you to the podcast where I get to sit and speak with guests who are here to tell their amazing stories of living by God's grace. And I am so happy to have with me my sister in Christ, Elder Kelly Bentley Dixon. She is on tonight to tell her story. So welcome, Kelly, to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so grateful to have connected with her. She and I have just gelled immediately. A sisterhood that has taken us from week to week, year to year, and we keep growing stronger in God together. So I thank her for being on here, and I want to formally introduce her to you. For those of you who've not met my sister before, I have with me Kelly Bentley Dixon. She is the founder and CEO of Inspired Purpose and Greatness Discovered Publishing. She is an empowerment speaker and author. She is purpose-focused life coach. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Juvenile Delinquency, a Master of Science degree in Criminology and Law, a graduate fellow of Institute of Politics at Loyola University, and a minister of the gospel for over 15 years. She has done so many great things, and it is always good to see women working in the kingdom of God and walking in purpose. So let's thank God for Kelly being on the podcast. Thank you once again for joining me. Tonight, we will be hearing her story. And I always like to start with finding out who a person is beyond the titles. So Kelly, we know we become our own brand. And when people see us, sometimes they see the image of us, the presentation of us. But tell us what you want people to know that's an unspoken truth about Kelly.
Well, believe it or not, I am an extroverted introvert.
Okay.
I really, really love my own company. And it's amazing how I could go days and just be content. Mm-hmm. But because of my purpose, I'm out. I'm doing things. I'm engaging people, interacting with people. But I'm okay with just me.
And that's something that I would have never known about
Never
you.
know.
Because I see you operating in ministry. I see you walk in such boldness and always willing to offer a helping hand and to speak your truth. So I would not have known that about you. Truly
It's
an
so
introvert.
True. I truly am. But, again, it's what God has called me to do has really ignited me to come out of my shell and to engage with people more and to be out more, because that's what he's called me to do. So I'm obedient to his call.
And that's good, because if you don't know who you are, you can't be good to any other people.
At all.
So to spend time by yourself and to be comfortable with that means that when you come out, you can give people the best of you because you know who you are.
Oh, yes.
You know your boundaries, you know your limits.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it also helps with knowing that the only person that I should be concerned about is what God is saying and how God is leading, and not worrying about what people are saying or what people are thinking, or am I pleasing this person or am I pleasing that person, when it's me and God and he's like, you're good, you're doing good. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Lord, let's do a little more. So,
and you know how to spend time with God.
Oh, yes.
And you're comfortable there. So that is really good to hear, especially from someone who is called to the ministry.
Yes.
Because sometimes we give so much of ourselves till we don't even take the time to say, let me just rest in who I am. When I take off the collar, take off the good church clothes,
Ooh.
are you comfortable with just sitting and resting and hearing from God?
Yes.
So that is awesome. It is good to hear you actually say that, because someone may be struggling with that right now, thinking, because I'm called, I'm supposed to always be on.
No.
You have to learn how to rest and take time for you.
Definitely. And again, as you said, you have to know yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be comfortable with who you are and who God called you to be. Because if you're not, you're going to be comparing. You're going to be trying to figure out why I don't do it like this one, why I don't do it like that one. But knowing who you are, knowing who God called you to be, gives you that confidence to know, if I'm okay, I'm enough.
Right.
I can do this. God has called me. He's going to give me everything that I need to move forward. So it's definitely something that I would encourage those that are thinking about, well, I don't know how to do this. God knows. When he called you, he knows who you are, how you're
Exactly.
made, because he made you. So he knows when he's calling that he has people assigned to you and people that's going to be able to relate to you. So definitely be yourself and be who God has called you to be.
Absolutely. That's all you can be.
That's all.
And God understands when you need some time for yourself to refuel. Because even Jesus had to separate himself to spend some private time with God. So that is necessary.
It is.
And as a native New Orleans, you are here and this city can offer so much. What does it mean to you to be a citizen, a native, a daughter of this city on a daily basis? Because so many people look at New Orleans and there are people who've never been here,
Mm-hmm.
and they're wondering about what they see on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
What does it actually mean to you as a resident?
It's legacy. It's my roots. It's my heart. I have a heart for this city, so much so that after Katrina, I moved back to New Orleans because I knew that as the young people were going to be coming back and the residents were going to be coming back, they needed those native New Orleanians who had a commitment to the city and to help the city to revive and grow again, to come back. So that's how much of my heart belongs to New Orleans. I am a true New Orleanian. I am, yes, all of those things that she read, but I'm also a culture bearer. I'm a culture educator. I'm a culture advocate. I advocate for the culture of this city because it's such a beautiful tapestry of what this city has to offer. We're just not one thing. So it means the world to me that God has allowed me to really thrive and flourish in a city that has my heart. So I'm true New Orleanian. So when I see people online posting about the city, especially negatively if they live here, my question is always, why are you still here?
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to be a productive citizen and contribute to your community. So if it's a place that's not serving your needs or meeting your needs, then you really have to think about, okay, why am I here? Or make the decision, you know what? I don't like this, so I'm going to get involved.
Right.
See how I can contribute to the change. So yes, I love New Orleans. I'm a New Orleans girl.
Yes, and there is nothing like
Like
a New Orleans girl.
Nowhere. Anywhere in the world.
Exactly. I can second that. And you speak of the culture of this city and what it truly means to you. But anyone who knows you and follow you, they know that you are a daughter of the culture because your mother
Yes.
was such an icon in this city of New Orleans. And if anyone had the opportunity to meet her mother, the esteemed Miss Barbara Lacen Keller, you know she was truly a New Orleans girl. And she did so much in this city.
Yes.
And has her name stapled and written in so many ways.
Yes.
Tell us about her legacy. And you are actually carrying her legacy in some areas.
Yes.
So tell us about your mother, because some people may hear her name or read it somewhere, and now they get to hear it from
Yes.
her daughter.
Yes. As Tanchelle stated, she was New Orleans. She loved this city, fought for this city, worked in this city, community advocate, voice for the voiceless, sat at the table, opened the doors, pulled up the chairs. She was that kind of person. And what I tell people all the time is that's how we knew her. My mom has always been that way. She didn't start doing all of those things when she got to be employed with the city. She did that as we were children. My mother was an advocate in the community when we were 5 and 6 years old for us to be able to have community activities, to have somewhere to go after school, to have things going on in our neighborhood. So my mom was always that person. So we grew up knowing her as that person. And because that was the way she was in our household, we had no other choice than to be a part of the culture because she was an advocate for the culture. So she brought us with her when she was anywhere in the community doing anything. And she not only exposed us, but she instilled in us that this city belongs to you. You have an obligation to whatever table you're invited to. When you leave the table, go in the community and work in the community. You have an obligation for those in this community that don't have a voice, don't have an opportunity, or have not been given the things that you've been given. So that's your responsibility. So yes, she was so small in stature.
Yes.
But her reach, her personality, her drive was just out of this world. And I get emotional when I think about it. Just thinking that she's not here because she was so larger than life. I thought she would live forever, But as you stated, my sisters and I, no one could ever do what Barbara did. What Miss Barbara did, Miss B, Grand Diva, Queen B, whatever you wanted to call her, no one could do, even as Mark Morial gave her the name, Mayor of Central City. He said he couldn't get no work done in the Central City unless he went through Miss Barbara, because that's how much she was rooted in the community. But we knew none of us could do all of it. So my sisters and I have divided up portions of her work, and we each have picked up the mantle to carry on her legacy, because we want, although the grandchildren have seen it, she has great-grandchildren. We want them to know her legacy and know the legacy that our family carries. So yes, I've picked up the mantle of carrying the community legacy. I'm excited about the work. I'm excited about what God has done. I've most recently been elected to the board of directors for the Jazz and Heritage Festival and Foundation. I'm super excited about that work because it gives me the opportunity, again, to sit at the table and make certain that the culture bearers, the culture advocates, everybody that holds up everything that you love about New Orleans, the music, the food, the parties, whatever it is that you love about New Orleans, that is taken care of. So I am super excited about carrying on her legacy. And I talk to her often. I say, Mama, we doing it. We doing this. We're doing that. So I'm thankful. We were fortunate. Definitely fortunate.
What is it like when you enter a space and you see that her name still carries so much weight? What is it like being her legacy in the community?
It's bittersweet. I miss her so much, but it charges me because people that don't know my name call me Little Barbara. Come here, Little Barbara. I need you to go do this and do that. And it's an honor. I answer because to be compared to her in that way, I'm like, yes, what do you need? Yes, I can do that. And my sister says it all the time. She said, yes, you're just like Mama. You're just a little softer version. But Mama had gotten to the age where she said what she wanted, where she wanted to do what she wanted. And I agree. I'm learning, still learning and growing. But it's such a tremendous honor to be able to be in those circles and to see her name in places that I enter, and to have, them getting ready to name a park after her. What it is named after her, they're just completing the construction. But things like that, you go in this community, there's no way I can go in the city without someone saying, oh, I knew your mom, and they're wanting to talk and love on us about her.
That is awesome. And that's important for people to know that the life you live needs to be able to speak for you, even when you are no longer able to speak for yourself. And your mother has proven that.
Oh, yes.
And if anyone ever watched any council meetings, attended any public forums,
Yes.
Jazz and Heritage Festival,
Yes.
she was such a staple in those areas. And it is an honor to know that she's going to be celebrated with a park. So visitors and the residents of the city of New Orleans will be able to go to a park that's going to be named in her honor. And I'm sure we will see when that unveiling will take place. So I encourage you, if you get an opportunity, when it's completed, pass by the park that's going to be named after our cultural icon.
Yes.
The one that was small, very small.
Under 5 feet.
Under 5 feet, but was a giant when she entered the space. And we're getting to sit and speak with her daughter and one of her daughters that is carrying her legacy. And if you've met them as a sisterhood, they are united as a mighty force together. So that is great. So parents, it is how you live that makes a difference, and what people will remember through your children when you are no longer able to speak for yourself. Oh, yes. So that is so good. I can't wait to go to the park. I'm sure they're going to have second line bands and Indians and
clubs,
all.
Because that was her.
That was her.
And we couldn't do it any other way. It couldn't be just a ribbon cutting. It had to be a celebration, again, acknowledging and celebrating her life and the legacy that she leaves. And people tell me all the time, oh, I have to do this because your mama did so much for us. And we're still living off the seeds that she planted. And I imagine her grandchildren and great-grandchildren are going to be living off the seeds that she planted, because she didn't meet a stranger. And there was no one that she refused to help. If it was within her reach, she would do it. If it was out of her reach, she would call who she knew could do it. Right. That was her.
And another thing was so powerful about her, while she was big in the community and the culture, she instilled prayer into a group of ladies whom she became a mother to them. So while she had her biological daughters, she became a mother to so many young ladies in this community. And in her group that she was a part of, she initiated a prayer for the streets.
Yes, the blessing of the street.
The blessing of the street.
And they've actually named that after her. So now it's the Barbara Lacen Keller Blessing of the Streets.
Yes, and she believed in the power of prayer. And before this group would go to the streets, she instilled in them the importance of praying before you go out. So she was such a special person.
Yes.
And her legacy lives on. But the fact that she taught them how to pray.
Oh, yes.
That is an awesome.
And it has grown into a full church service. So it's the only group that has an independent worship service strictly dedicated to praying and asking God to bless them before they go.
And that started by
Miss Barbara.
Miss Barbara. So, Miss Barbara, we thank you.
Yes.
We thank you for understanding the power of prayer and all that you instilled in this city. And may your legacy continue to live on. And we know it's living through your daughters, but you've made such an impact. So we thank you for all that you did.
Yes.
Now, you have so much. Your mother was big in the community, and now you've taken that mantle. But you have so much that you have purposed for your own life outside of being who you are and honoring your mother's legacy. Because you have a degree in juvenile delinquency.
Yes.
What made you want to work with juveniles, and what did you learn from your education that still holds true today?
Well, a lot of people don't know, but I was once one of those wayward children. Yes, even in the house with my mother.
The introvert?
Yes. I guess it was that puberty, teenage year. I'm a middle girl. So we're different anyway.
The middle children cut up.
We different anyway. So I was one of those young girls in school, was angry for, I don't know why. I had everything, my dad, my mom, a loving family, but I was mad. And I would go to school mad. And I would fight. Yes. The minister would fight.
Oh, my.
Yes. So much so that I got expelled from school.
Wow.
Yes. Fighting, I don't know why. Just looking at somebody and want to fight. But what I found was that it was a lot of misunderstanding. Finding my place, wanting to know who I was. Again, being that middle child, making certain that I'm good and everything around me is good. So when my mom did, as she always do, she said, okay, let's go. I was a straight A student, but my behavior was out of line. So she said, no, we're going to give me her transcript. We're going to take her somewhere else. And when I got where I was, the principal said to me, he's about 6'2", maybe about 6'4". He said to me, I'm going to let you in my school, but if you are in my office for anything other than the honor roll, it's going to be me and you. That was all I needed. I had not had another fight another day. It was over. I was done. I was okay. But knowing that I was so close to expulsion and then possibly going out, committing a crime, just knowing that I could have been there, and knowing how it feels being misunderstood, knowing how it feels being angry, and you don't really know why, and then you don't know what to do with that. So I started my first job working at a youth camp as a camp counselor, and I just fell in love with children. I don't have any of my own, but I love children, have always worked with children. So I knew that was an area that I really, really wanted to study and really build my career in.
So you understand what it means to be headed in a direction.
Oh, yes.
Although you did not get to experience some of the challenges that a lot of the kids face, but you understand.
I understand how it could go, how it easily can go that way. Definitely understand. And I have, my heart is for them. I'm compassionate and, empathy and understanding in a non-judgmental way. I talk with young people, my nieces and nephews, young people in the community. I even, through my life coaching, I do life skills with teens and teen girls specifically for that reason. I don't want you to be faced with what I was faced with. I don't want you to be having to make choices that you shouldn't have to make at this age. So I understand. And it's really, really a blessing and an honor, because I look at it as God continuing to use me to speak to the future. Because again, these are young people, and everything, all the challenges that they have today, to know that He would still allow me to speak into their lives is such a blessing.
Great. And there are people who don't want to work with kids because they feel like there's no hope. You can't reach them. And we do know that working with the youth, which is often the misunderstood period in our lives when we're in the growth and development stages, what skill do you feel is necessary to build rapport with these children? Because a lot of times it's because people really don't know where to begin when you're speaking to juveniles. What do you use?
First, you have to listen. Listen without judgment. Listen without preparing your response. Listen for understanding. One of the things that I know, one of the skills, again, that I've learned, when you do an assessment, I can walk into a room and do an assessment in less than 60 seconds and tell you everything that's going on in that room and what possibly may go on in the next 5 minutes. But what I do is, and continue to use, is my listening skills. Hear them. Listen for understanding, not for judgment. Because what happens is, if you go in with the mindset of, oh, they didn't do that when I was young, or they don't understand, they think they know everything, you've missed them. You're not going to reach them, and they won't even feel comfortable talking with you because they can sense that. Young people can feel if you're genuine, if you genuinely have a heart for them, they can feel whether or not you are serious about helping them. So that determines how much they tell you.
Right.
So the fact that I listen and smile, the wow factor is removed. That's one thing that I tell my sisters when my nieces and nephews would tell me things that they would never tell their parents. And they said, why they talk to you? Because the wow factor is removed from me. Because I've been there. There's nothing that they can tell me that's going to shock me to the point where I'm just going to panic and everything is going to be lost. No, I'm like, okay. So let's talk about how we're going to move. Our next move, what we're going to do next. It's nothing. I don't, and I'm not judging. I'm not berating them. I'm not talking down to them.
Right.
I'm actually treating them as a young person with respect and with dignity. And they can sense if you're serious and if you're genuine. And sometimes you may have to prove yourself, because that happened to me when I worked in the school system and I was in a classroom full of 9th grade boys, and I was in the classroom alone as the only instructor. I had no problems with them because, of course, they knew I loved them and taught them. But I also had to display to them, no nonsense. This is what we're doing today, and this is how we're going to do it today, and we all going to have fun.
Right.
So once they saw that I wasn't the pushover, and they were like, oh, okay. This is going both ways. Okay, she's going to understand. Listen to us, we're going to listen to her. She understands us, we're going to try to understand her. So, and it helps. It definitely helps.
Good. And one of the things that I feel is effective with working with youth is I think they like consistency. And they don't want people to change up so fast on them because they lose trust in you. So if you are consistent with them, and you have to be balanced.
Yes.
You can't be all of one thing and none of the other. So if you are consistent with them and you show them that I care, I could be tough, because they don't shy away from toughness.
Right.
They want you to be consistent, but you have be a tough person and show them that you care. They will go to bat for you, and they won't let anybody else play with you.
No, they won't.
And you can be tough on them, but you show them I'm consistent because I'm going to show up for you.
Yes.
But I care.
I care.
And those youth will love you. I think a lot of times they get dropped because people are not consistent.
Right.
And they can't prove to be truly who they say they are.
Right.
So you can't disappoint them.
No. And you got to be committed.
And you have to be committed.
You have to be committed. If you give them your word and you say, we're going to do X, Y, Z, follow through.
Right. Because they're looking for it.
They're looking for it. And I don't care how tough they are, how many offenses they may have committed, how many schools they may have been to, how many people fall. So it doesn't matter. If you say you're going to do something, follow through. Because the one thing that they want to see is if you're going to keep your word.
Yes.
Because if you keep your word in this, then they're going to feel like, okay, well, she showed up for me. She came back for me. She said we would do this on this day, and we did it. And okay, so now I feel comfortable. Let my guard down. I can tell her a little bit more about this. I can tell her a little bit more about that. Definitely be consistent. And that's why it's important, as we talked about in the beginning, be who you are.
Right.
Be yourself. Be true to who you are so that they can see the real you and make the decision from there. So I definitely know that all of those things that I've learned and through my studies, it works with our young people I work with in the community as well as in the church.
Yes, it does. And when did you accept your call to ministry where you say, Lord, I surrender myself to you? When did that happen for you as you were coming through your journey? Because each day could be different on this journey.
Yes.
But at some point you stop running.
Yes, Lord.
And you stop being the chosen middle child. And you decide, Lord, here I am. What was that like?
So it was a roundabout way. And I talk about it in my book because when God called me, I was a part of a ministry that did not acknowledge or accept women in ministry. So I didn't think God was calling me to ministry because I was like, well, I'm in this church, very involved, very committed. I'm like, well, I can't be called because they don't even let women go in the pulpit.
Right.
So that can't be right. So I'm teaching and, just doing everything that I thought. And he was like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. I was like, but who am I talking to? Because although I didn't grow up in the church, I received salvation in college.
Okay.
On the college campus of Grambling State University.
Right.
That's when I gave my life to the Lord. And I was a part of a ministry there, a student ministry. And we would go out and witness. And God was just doing some amazing things. So I came home on fire. And I'm like, all right, I'm getting ready. And so I taught and continued to do those things. And when God was like, okay, I'm calling you higher. And I'm like, well, what you mean? What I got to do? So I didn't know where to go. So I ran. To another state. I was running. Literally running. And I had an illness and I was in the hospital, and it was almost like God said, you tired yet?
Yes. You still
and
running?
on the hospital bed, I opened my eyes and said, okay.
Right.
Yes. And that was around 2006.
Okay. So yes, you have been on this battlefield for a while.
Yes.
And God has a way of getting our attention.
Yes.
Putting us at a place of rest.
Yes.
Where it's all or nothing.
What?
All or nothing. I called you to this office.
Yes.
I have a purpose for your life, and it shall
be done. It's going to come to pass.
It shall be done.
And all those ideas I thought about teaching Sunday school and vacation Bible school and women's, doing all of those things. He was like, oh, those are beautiful. Those are nice. And yes, we need, but that's not what I asked you to do.
Yes.
Please do what I asked you to do. So once I gave God a yes, and I'll tell you how God works, because that is where God was able to plant me into a ministry where they nurtured, not just accepted, but nurtured women in the ministry. When I announced, I said, God is calling me, and I don't know what. From then on, God was like, I got you now.
All right.
He sent everything that I need, everything. So I was licensed and ordained and working full-time ministry right there where I was, because God said, that's all I wanted was a yes.
Right.
That's all I needed. Now I got you.
And this yes has opened doors.
Yes.
And I will place everything before you that's needed to get you to the purpose place.
Exactly.
So as a minister of the gospel, we're seeing more and more people that are using social media and public platforms as a way to get their messages across to the masses. But what is more important to you when you are preparing a message and delivering a message? Is it more important for you to seize the moment or maximize the message? Because people are going for it and they're going viral. So is it important for you as a minister to seize the moment or maximize the message?
Well, anyone that has heard me minister before, it's not long. My messages are never long at all. Because I made God a promise. He made me a promise that he would let me know when to stop. So whenever I minister, I say, God, I'm going to give him what you gave me, and you tell me when to stop. And so it's always short, but power-packed. So I always look at maximizing the message.
Right.
Not just in a moment, not just any time, but when there's an opportunity that God gives you to declare his word, that you maximize that message. Meaning, say what you need to say right then.
Right.
All the fluff, all of the trimmings, meat, go straight to the meat. Give the people what God has given you, and when you're done, be done.
Yes.
That's it.
Exactly. Because those who seize the moment sometimes can think it's about them.
Exactly.
And their names are called, and they are thinking, the more my name is called, it means that I am so great.
It's all me.
Yes, they want me. But when you truly understand the work of the kingdom, you know that the message is what needs to make a difference, even if it's not you.
Right.
Lord, if this message needs to go forth, let it go forth.
Yes.
Because it's the word that's going to save us.
Yes.
It's the word that's going to transform lives.
Yes.
Not you standing up there dressed in your good clothes and all your fancy name brand attire. And a lot of people need to know that.
Yes.
Because we're seeing more and more people who are going before us on public platforms, but the message is not maximized.
It's not.
And you can tell when the Spirit is present in a message because you're getting there, you make the impact, you're done.
You're done.
But when you get up there and it's about you, people tend to go on and on and on. And sometimes you are just seizing the moment.
Yes. Yes. And we have to be mindful that God has assigned people to us.
Yes.
To our voice, to our ministry. And we have to be mindful that it's not as trivial as people are making it. Like you said, Elder Tasha, you have to realize that God is speaking through you. It has nothing. That's why I pray and say, God, hide me.
Right.
They know me, but hide me. I want them to hear you. I want them to hear what you are saying. That's why when you're done, I'm done.
Exactly.
He said it is finished. I'm done. I'm not trying to hoop, holler, do nothing that's outside of what God has called me to do. Because theatrics, none of that. If it happens, then that's what God is doing. The Spirit is moving and doing that. But we ain't manufacturing nothing. We ain't putting nothing together. We're doing what God has called maximizing the word, which is the message.
Right.
And giving the people the word so that's what changed lives. That's what helps people when they apply the word to their lives to live the life that God is calling them.
Yes. And you'll know the difference even with the message delivery. Because each of us have our own speaking voice.
Yes.
And our own way that God uses us. And God uses me in a way where I am not a manuscript preacher and teacher of the word. But because God uses me in that way, I have to sit in the word. I have to know it. And then I have to yield to the Spirit when it's time to deliver, because I'm not reading.
Right.
But that's when the word becomes alive in you. And to any young minister, preacher, teacher of the gospel, even to our women in ministry, stop being so focused on what you look like.
My God.
And focus on allowing the word of God to become alive in you.
My God.
When you yield to the Spirit of God and let God have his way.
Yes.
Then you get to a point where you maximize the message.
My God.
And if they don't remember what color shoes you had on, and if they don't remember how your hair was,
my God.
If they could remember the points that you made in the message through the power of God, then you know that God is glorified.
That's it. That's it. And we have to, again, if you're truly in the word, and if you're truly sitting in the word, preparing for what God is going to do, the message is going to hit you before it hits anyone else. So that's how I know it's never about what I have on or how my hair looks. I'm like toiling in this word, and it's already hit me. And I'm like, okay, God, I see you now. I hear you. And he said, tell the people. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell the people.
Exactly.
So that's an indication that it speaks to you before you speak to the people. But if it's, and that's one of the things that I remember when I'm preparing, I'm mindful about saying, and you gotta, and you should, and you, cause I am in it too.
Yes.
So I don't point fingers, and I say we. We have to be mindful, and we have to remember, and we have to, because the word is for me as well. So that's why I'm always mindful of that. And truth be told, Elder Tasha, I actually do the opposite. I try to wear something as nondescript as I can, because I don't want you focusing on that. If it happens to be cute, then you think it's cute, then I'm okay with it. But I'm trying to be as humble in my dress as I can when I'm ministering, because I don't want you to get caught up in that. Because that ain't what God called me to do. God called me to deliver his word and to share his message. So I'll try to put my hair in a different way. I'll try so that it's less distracting.
Right.
And that's honest. I really do try to do that, because I don't want people to get caught up in that. I want them to hear God.
Exactly. And if they walk away with the message that God has given you, then you know that what you purpose to do has
been
gone
accomplished.
forth.
My God.
It
That's
has gone forth. You have accomplished. You have
Yes.
finished the assignment.
My God.
Now you can go home and rest in him.
Hmm.
Because if that word didn't tear you up before you got there, it's like you're bubbling up on, like, Lord, I got to get it out. I got to give birth to this
told
thing.
the people. I got to tell them what I saw, what I learned, what God said to me. Yes.
Like,
yes.
come on, Jesus.
Come on, Jesus.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is really, really important for our women in ministry.
Yes.
Because if you are destined for greatness, you've got to get to a place where you remove yourself and yield totally to the Spirit of God.
Yes.
And let God have his way in your life. And then you know that he is going to co-sign everything that you purpose to do when you yield to him.
Yes.
Yes.
So much, I've yielded to him so much so, I don't listen to my messages after I've ministered. I don't play them back. I don't rewind them. I don't listen to them again because I'm my biggest critic. And so I will say things like, oh, I should have said this here. And I should have, it's his word. When he's done, and I'm done. So I don't listen to my messages and replay them and try to polish. Nope, I let him do that. When he says to me, okay, he'll speak to me and say, well, there you could, but next time we're going to,
Right.
But I don't do that to myself. So definitely want to do it as he says.
And I'm just the opposite of that. I listen because I totally yield to the Spirit.
You were like, what did I say?
I don't know what I've said. So there are times I have to go back because when the Spirit shifts, I don't know what I'm saying. Just like there was a pastor that asked me to come and teach recently, and he wanted me to teach the same message that he had heard on a Sunday. And he told me, come next Sunday and teach the same message. And I said, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know all that I said. And there is no way when God used me, I'm going to say that same thing again.
My God.
So I had to prepare a message that was on that same topic, but still yield to the Spirit of God.
Yes.
So I don't know everything that I've spoken because I totally yield to the Spirit. And most of what I'm saying is not written.
My God. My God.
Not written. But that's getting to know your preaching and teaching voice.
Yes.
And style. That is not for everyone.
No.
So you seek God to find out how he wants to use you. Because if you're destined for greatness, God knows exactly what you possess that he needs.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He knows what you possess and every characteristic about you, those things that, what you do, how you do it, how you speak, your demeanor. He knows all of those things. So when he wants to use all of those things to enhance you and the message and the word, bringing the delivery of the word. So be yourself. Just be who you are. Yes. And God's going to make sure you're covered and he's got you.
Yes. And you actually have written a book. You made reference to it earlier. And the title of your book is Destined for Greatness.
Yes.
So tell us about your book and what made you want to be an author.
Well, I didn't know that I would be an author, but God was really impressing upon me because I had gone through those things about discovering my purpose and greatness that I needed to share that roundabout way that I, went through to give him a yes. And then even after I was ordained and still facing those challenges with women in ministry and still facing those challenges about having to say, having to either accept what they were offering or saying I wasn't a minister and just so I could be in the congregation, or saying, no, I'm not. I gave God a yes. This is who God called me to be. So I know I needed to share that. So the book is entitled Destined for Greatness, How to Tap Into Your God-Given Power and Purpose. It's all tied to God. It's all tied to what he's placed on the inside of us, but we have to tap into it. We could think about it. We could know he wants to see it in our lives, but we have to tap into it. So the book talks about the 7 stages that we encounter on the way to discovering our purpose. And when I tell you that book challenged me, and I wrote it after swim, right after swim, right not long after swim, the swim conference, Sisters Winning in Ministry by our Bishop, R.C. Blakes. I wrote that book in 7 days. God had been building the story inside of me. But when he said it's time to put it on paper, I secluded myself and I wrote my manuscript in 7 days. 7 steps. I wrote it in 7 days, and it's been such a tremendous blessing. It has been continued to be, even now, God is continuing to use that message and that platform for me to reach women and men.
Good. So how would someone get a copy of your book?
They can go to my website, inspiredpurposecoaching.com or imkbdixon.com. There you'll find copies of the book, the t-shirt that I have on, also services, those that I provide, the coaching services, and my publishing company. Because now, even during the pandemic, again, God keeps pulling me. He keeps pulling me. The book has such a tremendous response that, ladies were coming to me saying, I want to write, but I don't know where to start. What should I do? And so I have a faith-based publishing company. And God has allowed me to build this company faith-based, and I share it with anyone, an aspiring author that comes. I say, this is faith-based. This is a company that God built, meaning we pray before each session. Mm-hmm. Your book has to be tied to your purpose. It has to be the story that God has given you and telling you that it's time to tell. Because we all have a story,
right,
but it's when and how we're going to tell it. It's for impact and not income. I tell my authors all the time, if you want to be a bestseller overnight, I'm not the publisher for you. I'm more concerned about the impact that your message is going to make. God is going to make certain that it travels where it needs to go to. And whatever he needs to put on top of it, he'll do that. But the impact of when the reader picks up that, but whatever it is that they're reading, whether it's your devotional, your story. I've even published a cookbook.
Okay.
It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. And the reason I accept her as a client is because she gave a lot of history in the beginning and talked about the New Orleans cuisine and talked about the kitchen and talked stories of cooking with her grandmother. So the history was there. It was rich history. So I tell that's why I have exploratory sessions before I accept clients. I don't accept everybody that comes, because it has to be somebody that God is saying, yes, you are aligned. They can receive from you, because being a coach, being a life coach, a writing coach, you have to be able to share things with people that they may not want to hear, but they have to be in a position to receive it and be able to build from there. So I tell anyone that's coming, I'm more concerned about the impact of your story than the income that comes. Now, I'm going to teach you the business side, because there is a business side to being an author. But I thank God that Greatness Discovered Publishing, she's doing well. Young ladies, I'm working with a young lady. Her project is coming out in a little bit. And I'm just excited about what God is doing. And it's an honor.
Yes.
Because it's almost like giving birth. It's their baby. And I'm the midwife. And God has given me those skills and given me that charge with helping them to deliver what God has put on the inside of them. So that's how I see my publishing company. That's how I see Inspired Purpose. I'm a purpose coach. I'm helping you to find your purpose. That's my purpose, to help you identify and walk in, accept your purpose. So I'm excited about what God is doing.
Well, congratulations with all of that. It's exciting to just listen to the excitement in you. It's like, oh, that's my sister. I know her. She is doing great things.
God is good.
What would you say to someone that feels as if they have a story and they want to begin to write it? What would you say to them is the first step to coming out of that place of being stuck where you don't know what to do? What would you say to them?
So I would definitely ask them to see God, because that's the one that's going to give you the courage and confidence to tell your story. Our stories are not always just pretty. There's some ugly things that are in our story, some trauma, some unresolved hurt, some unforgiveness. There are things in our story that when we share them, I share this with the authors as well. When you share your story, then it becomes public knowledge and they want to ask questions.
Right.
So I love that God has built this faith-based company so that if we're in a session and something comes out that has not been resolved, we can stop right where we are and we can work through that. We can pray through that. We don't rush through and say, well, let's keep writing. No, let's deal with that hurt. Let's deal with that trauma. Because when you're out, when you launch and you're out and you're doing, book studies and you're doing sharing your story and people ask questions, you got to be comfortable answering.
Right.
You have to be comfortable answering those questions. So God is going to give you that confidence. So once he's giving you that confidence to say, okay, I'm ready to tell my story. Connect with someone that cares about you and your story. Not just someone that wants to, again, income. Oh, I can publish a book. I can do, and they just put anything out and then charging exorbitant amounts and you're stuck and you feel like, well, why am I doing this? Pray your way through the entire process. The entire process. You need someone that cares, again, more about the impact of what your story will have on your readers, your audience, than just their income or your income.
That is awesome. So you are a publisher, life coach, minister, mother figure. You're doing it all.
Culture bearer, culture educator, culture advocate, music enthusiast. How do you say it? Enthusiast. Love music. I'm a former musician, so I love all kinds of music. So, but I love that God has placed all of those things inside of me, and I'm comfortable with who I am.
Yes.
And not only that, he's given me permission to be all of those things. I no longer have to prove to anyone or ask anyone permission to be any of those things. He said, daughter, that's you. You're good. Let's do it.
Exactly. And that is such a key thing for us to understand. There are so many people that believe to walk with God means that you have to remove everything from you that makes you who you are. One thing about this walk and being a minister in the gospel is you have to live a disciplined life. You have to be able to make God your choice. It does not mean you can't laugh. Does not mean you can't dance. It does not mean that you can't be who you are, but you're called to a different order.
Yes.
And a different office in the kingdom of God. So when people feel like they see you dancing, you must not be of God. You have to clearly know in the Bible, when they had the weddings and they had the parties, they were not dancing to Jesus Loves Me.
No.
They were not dancing to Near the Cross.
No.
Those things did not exist at that time. But Christ was present. They lived their lives according to the will of God and the word of God.
Yes.
So we have to know how to be balanced. We have to know how to have discipline.
Yes.
And we just can't do everything that the world does.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yes.
You can't do it all.
No.
Because you don't want to cause someone to fall. But God doesn't strip you of being who you are.
No. And balance is so important. And seek God for balance in His word. He'll give you in His word instructions about how you should handle situations. And He'll convict you before anyone else can. If you're in close relationship and communication and fellowship with God, He's going to convict you. He's going to let you know you've gone too far.
Yes.
Nope, we're not doing that. No, pull that back in. Nope, change that. Oh, go back. Rewind. So knowing that He has, I can continue to have an ear for Him, and He continues to speak to me and say to me when it's time to pull it back, it's time to tone it down, it's time to turn it off. And even in doing all of those things, I thank God that He's given me balance because, again, people will think you have to strip yourself of who you are, your personality, your love for music, the joy that you have, the excitement that you have. I talk about it in my book. I had a male minister one time tell me, "Oh, male ministers don't wear locks. Women, people that are called to ministry don't wear their hair that way." People will say anything to you
Right.
to try to discourage you and to deter you. But again, knowing who you are, knowing who God has called you to be, He's going to give you that confidence. And He's going to give you those boundaries as well. So I'm excited that He lets me be me.
Yes. And balance is different for each of us, depending on what you weigh.
That's it.
What weight do you carry in the kingdom of God? Because what balances the scale for me may not balance the scale for my sister Kelly. May not balance it for you. So you have to know who you are in God.
Yes.
And as she said, you seek God. And that balanced place in God is uniquely for you. Because we don't operate the same. God is not requiring the same from each of us.
That's it.
So when He calls you and He gives you purpose, He will balance the scale based on your weight. Mm-hmm. He's not setting us up for failure. But you have to get to know Him.
Yes.
You have to spend time with Him. You have to study the Word.
Yes.
You have to know His yea and His nay.
Yes. Yes.
And as she said, when God says no, I don't care how much you enjoy it, you shut it down.
Stop.
Because there will be some places that you will be that God needs you there because there's a word and there's a message for that house. There's someone in there that needs to see Christ in you. That doesn't mean you sit there, you rest there. And He may never send you back
there
ever again. You may never cross that door, that path again. But that's when you know the balance in God.
Yes. And that's why we have to be mindful not to be judgmental.
Yes.
And sit in judgment of others, because you don't know. Well, I can't speak to my sister and say, "Oh, you can't do, you ain't supposed." I don't know what God has said to her about her boundaries and what He's called her to do. Same for me. Mm-hmm. We have to be mindful that we can't sit in judgment of anybody saying, "You shouldn't be doing that, and why are you doing that?" God, again, if you're in fellowship and you continue to heed the voice of God, He's going to let you know.
Exactly.
He's going to let you know.
Mm-hmm. And that is what makes this walk with God so special and purposed.
Yes.
Is that He knows each of us.
Mm-hmm.
And He deals with us according to who we are.
Yes.
And how He sees us in the future.
Mm.
So don't despise where you are right now.
My God.
You use that as an opportunity to get close to Him, because some of what you possess right now is needed for your next season.
My God.
Now, all
God.
of it can't go.
Right.
But He doesn't strip you of everything, because for the street chicks, the ones that are doing all kinds of things, it's time to get your mind transformed, change your heart, draw close to God.
Yes.
Because there's going to be someone struggling after you that you will be the testimony.
Yes.
So I don't say stay there. I say get closer to Him and let God do the transforming.
Oh, yes.
Because we don't have the power.
He does.
He has the power. And He sees you in the future.
Yes.
But you have to want it, because there's a choice that you have to make.
My God. Let me share. And on that note,
yes, even
sisters who feel isolated right now, even sisters who feel alone and feel like, "Well, God, why you have me in this place where there's no one around? It's just me. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to say?" Perfect example. Parallel, my publishing company was built during the pandemic, where we were inside. I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't go anywhere and do all of those things. I reached out to people. People weren't calling me back. And God says, "I'm going to show you how to build this. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know." So even though we were forced isolation, God used that time to birth that in me.
Right.
So don't ever look at anything that God is doing or God allows, because He may not initiate it, but if He allows it to come into your life, it has purpose.
Absolutely.
And He's going to use it for His good. So don't trip. Be all right with it. Honestly, you got to be happy and be like bouncing off. Be okay with it though.
Right.
Say, "Okay, God, Work with me. I'm good. I'm gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. So definitely know that God has purpose, and His purpose will be fulfilled.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It may not come tomorrow.
My God.
Might not be 6 weeks from now. It may take years. But you have to be willing to allow the voice of God to be the most prominent voice in your life.
My God.
Sometimes you have to turn off the TV. You have to hang up the phones. You have to stop the text messaging. Get off social media. You have to do whatever you need to do to make sure that the voice of God is prominent in your life. So when God speaks, you will know it's His voice that you need to yield to.
Yes. Yes.
And that will come no matter where you are, but you have to have an ear to hear His voice.
Oh, yes. You have to know. And it comes by Him. We can't always just ask and talk to God. We have to sit and listen for Him. That's how we become familiar with His voice. And then it becomes undeniable. We don't have to question, is that God telling me? No, I know it's Him.
Right.
I know it's Him. And I have an obligation to obey what He's speaking in my life, what He's charging me to do. But the only way that you know, just like mothers know their children's voices in a stadium full of people,
right?
You know God's voice when you spend time with Him, and when He speaks to me different than He speaks to my sister, because He knows this daughter over here. He knows this one, so He knows how He has to break it down to me. So when He speaks in my language, oh, I know it's Him.
Yes.
And one thing I'm gonna do, I don't play about Him. I'm gonna do what He says do.
Absolutely. And if you are out there and you are trying to figure out if you have purpose,
my God,
I come to tell you that all of us have purpose.
Yes.
We were created for purpose. But one of the things we have to get to a place where we see is that if you are getting uncomfortable with where you are, if it no longer feels like it used to feel, if you're toiling between what we used to say, that good angel and that devil on the shoulder, if you're in the toiling period, purpose is awakening in you.
Oh, yes.
That means God is making you uncomfortable in this state because He has so much more for you.
Oh, yes.
But are you willing to walk away?
Oh, yes.
When He says it's time to walk.
And turn your back on everything you knew that was comfortable and do something that's uncomfortable. I promise you. Yes, gifts, God has given us gifts, and we can do things naturally and things easily, but sometimes when He calls us to purpose, it's out of our comfort zone.
Yes.
It's out of the things that we are comfortable with. And God is saying, like I told you, I can stay inside by myself with my TV, on my music, cook. I love to cook. I love things. So I can do all of that by myself. But He's called me to coach and to publish. So that's out of my comfort zone. So because I gave Him a yes, He promised me that He would cover me and He'd keep me through all of this. And so that's all that you see. That's all God. That ain't me. I really do like being at home, y'all. And chilling. But that's who He's called me to be. He called me out of my comfort zone. And I say, okay, God, let's do it. Let's do it. And He's continued to just mold me and continue to shape me. And as I continue to give Him repeated yes, and saying, okay, yeah, oh, we doing this now? Okay, yes, let's move forward. So I encourage you, ladies, know that we are all, ladies and gentlemen,
right?
We are all born with purpose. Purpose is on the inside of us, and everything that we need is already on the inside of us to begin to walk in our God-given purpose. But in order to do that, we have to accept it. You can't walk in purpose. You won't see the manifestation of purpose until you accept it, that this is what God is calling you to do.
Absolutely. God is so amazing. And once you come into the true knowledge of who He is in your life, not what grandmother said, not what mama said, not what the pastor says, when you have that personal encounter with Him, it is a feeling that is undeniable.
Like none other.
You want to run and you want to tell of the good news.
Yes.
But you have to know it for yourself.
Yes.
So are you working on any new things that the people can hear and they can be ready to follow you and be a part of what you have going on?
Yes. So I am, again, I'm now taking new authors or aspiring authors. I only do 2 a year.
Okay.
And that's because I'm so hands-on. And again, God stated it's more about impact than income. So we work through this. It's not anything that's just overnight. So definitely working on that. I'm working on a follow-up to my book,
Okay.
Destined for Greatness. A journal, really. Talking about, because I talk about the stages, and there are some journal space there. But some of those stages last longer than others. And there's more things that you need to work through while you're in certain stages. So definitely working on a follow-up to that as well. Thanking God again for the opportunities that he's given me in the community. As I stated, I'm recently elected to the board of directors, so I'm excited about that, doing some things in the community and looking forward to doing all of those things that God has called me to do.
Well, congratulations on everything that you purpose to do and God has placed in your hand. So to each of you that already have her book, Destined for Greatness, be on the lookout for the journal that is going to be coming out soon. And if you are an aspiring author and you want to speak to someone that actually cares about you and your story, I encourage you to seek her, Elder Kelly Bentley Dixon,
Yeah.
on various social media platforms. Connect with her.
Yes.
And she can give you the tools that you need to come out of that place of being stuck and not knowing where to begin.
Yeah.
And she will offer you what you need and guide you in the right direction. So it'll be great to have someone that is concerned about you, that loves who you are, but is called to the kingdom of God.
Oh, yes.
And someone who knows her purpose. Because if someone who you're working with don't know their purpose, how can they help you get to yours? I can't help you.
Okay. If I don't even know where.
If I don't know who I am.
My God.
So because she knows who she is, it'll be just a great joy to work with her, and she can put you on the right path.
Yes.
So I thank you so much. It is always a joy when you and I get together.
Yes.
We can talk for hours. We can talk for hours.
This is my good sister.
Yes.
Oh my God. And I'm so thankful for her. I thank you for the opportunity to
welcome.
come and to share. Again, I don't seek out, I don't even post a lot on social media. I try to do more, but that's just not how my life is set up. I don't live my life through social media. I live it out here. I live in living color, in my life, in my space. So I thank you for the opportunity to share my story. I'm excited about what God is doing in your life. You already know.
Thank you so much.
I hype you up, girl.
Oh, yes.
I love it.
And you don't have to be on social media. I'm coming to find you. Wherever you are, because I am going to reach out and say, listen.
Yes.
I have this going on. What you think about this?
And I'm on my way. What we got? Where we going? What we doing?
Yes,
so I thank God for you. I thank God for placing
Yes.
you in my life.
You are
I thank God that our paths cross and our hearts are knitted. And if I don't know nothing else, baby, I know this is my good sister.
Yes,
I know
Lord.
she has, as God has my heart, she has covered me. She continues to speak and encourage me, because that's important as well.
Yes.
Me speaking into others, I need to have somebody that's speaking into me, pouring into me. And I thank God that my sister does that for me. And when I tell you, hold me down, holds me down. And I'm so grateful, so grateful.
Yes, because love is an action word. And so many people can talk it. But ladies, you need to be able to hold your sisters down and not tell a soul.
That's it.
Between you and them and God.
And God, that's it.
When you get to that place, now you know you're truly walking in where God desires to be. When you can do it and not say a word about
That's it. That's it.
So if you're looking to discover your purpose, turn everything off and spend some time with God.
Yes.
The purpose placed in God has already been determined for your life.
Oh, yes.
You just have to come into the knowledge of it.
Yes.
So if you want to be better, you have to do better.
Yes.
You want to know what God wants for you? Ask him and then sit and wait for his response.
That's it.
May God continue to keep you and bless you. Follow me, Tansha Ward, by His Grace podcast. Not worthy, but worth it. Here with my sister, Elder Kelly Bentley Dixon, with so many great things coming forth. So I encourage you to follow her. Be a part of everything that she has going on, because God is doing great things in her life. And it is such a joy to be connected to greatness. May God keep you, sister. Keep being great. I love you. And we will continue to be on this journey together.
Yes.
May God keep each of you. Follow me on Facebook and YouTube. Tansha Ward, by His Grace. Not worthy, but worth it. You have a great rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.